So I took a little trip to Best Buy, and as a gaming and PC building enthusiast, is there anything there for us or is it kind of boring? Well, let's find out. Hey guys, Tiago with Classical Technology here. Thank you for joining me again for another video. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, smash that like button, leave a comment below. I want to know if recently you've been to your local Best Buy and what you think about the PC building aspect of it. So on this rainy day, we're going to go to Best Buy and we're going to see what type of PC hardware we can find. So let's go and take a look. Of course, as gaming, PC, tech enthusiasts, whatever you want to call yourself, Best Buy is always going to be one of those locations that you just love stopping by, just because in most of the country you're going to have one. In different towns often you have multiple locations, and while Micro Center is definitely my preferred store, especially if I'm building a PC, because they literally have almost like everything and it's really like a toy store for us who like building computers, Best Buy has to come in second place just because there are going to be more places that have them. I know a lot of places in the country don't have a Micro Center, they don't have a Fry's, but they do have a Best Buy. So if you want to actually go in somewhere where you're going to be able to look at hardware, so I've noticed that the last few years, Best Buy has added more and more PC gaming hardware. A few years ago, they had like nothing. They had generic keyboards and generic computer stuff, but nothing really directed towards the PC gamer. But now we can see that this demographic has absolutely expanded. If you walk in Best Buy now, you're gonna see whole aisles full of different, gaming mice, gaming keyboard. And now, of course, there's still maybe 4 or 5 big brands that really dominate this area. You're gonna see a lot of Logitech everywhere, a lot of Corsair, SteelSeries is going to be there, and of course Razer. But once in a while they do have a couple of cool things, and since Best Buy is such a big store that has such a variety of electronics, you really can't blame them for having a little bit more watered down version than say like Amazon or Newegg or even Micro Center. So what kind of PC hardware could you find at a Best Buy? Well, the first thing is keyboard, mice, and headset. Those seem to be the majority of what Best Buy has, and they don't have everything, but they have some of the bigger stuff. Like let's say if you want a nice Corsair keyboard, they're going to have some of their higher end stuff. Same with Logitech and same with Razer. You can find generally a pretty nice spread between the more cheaper budget versions in each lineup, like in Corsair or Logitech, compared to the more expensive ones. You'll generally find those most popular products there. So if you're looking for something like that, you're definitely going to find it. Now, if you want to get a really special keyboard, you might have to go to Micro Center, and if they don't have it, which the chances are low since they have most of it, if you want something like a 60% keyboard that's kind of like really unique, then that's the only option you may have to resort to getting online. The same thing goes for their gaming mice. I mean, they have a pretty good selection. Once again, it's not going to be as expansive as online or Micro Center, but if you want some of the nicer Logitech mice, like they have the G Pro wireless, if you want the nicer Corsair mice, the newer Razer mice, they're going to have all of that, including the SteelSeries mice. And now in terms of gaming headsets, once again, they have a pretty decent selection. Not everything you're going to find, but they definitely have the most popular ones, ranging from the cheaper budgets to the really expensive headsets. I've seen them all the way down from 40, 50 bucks all the way to the really expensive $200+ headsets. Let's say if you're kind of local to a Best Buy and you need something, you don't want to order it online and you need it pretty immediately, you can just go in the store and generally you're going to be able to find something that's going to meet your need. So the PC gaming space is still sort of like a niche. It's not as big as console gaming or other things, but it's really nice to start seeing some mainstream support at places like Best Buy. A cool thing about these gaming areas that are set up at Best Buy, I mean, it's not just like a little shelf. It's generally going to be a whole aisle. And depending on the Best Buy that you go to, you're going to have like smaller and larger sections. And generally too, they're going to have like a model on display of some of the most popular keyboards and the headsets. Now, we spoke about accessories. What about actual PC hardware? Now, this can really range depending on the Best Buy. And And the day that I went here, there really wasn't that big of a selection. I've seen it have more. They've been more stocked on sort of like the Ryzen and Intel CPUs. Usually they'll have a pretty good balance. I haven't seen like a 3900X or 9900K, but they'll generally have some of the mid-range and lower CPUs. Like I've seen a lot of 9700Ks, I've seen 3700Xs, a lot of 3600, AMD Ryzen. Just this day that I went, it seemed like maybe recently because of, Black Friday and Christmas, they sold out of everything, so they didn't have that big of a selection. But usually they're going to have that, and they do have a couple of motherboards. Once again, some of the more popular ones, not a huge selection, but at least they have a couple of ones to get you started if you're doing the build. And then they generally have a pretty good selection of different hard drives, like regular spinning hard drives, 2.5-inch SSDs, as well as M.2 SSDs, and graphics cards and GPUs. Generally, they'll have a nice spread, once again, of budgets as well as the different graphics card. You can find everything from like a 1660 to a 2080 Ti. They're going to have a few power supplies like Corsair and EVGA. They do have RGB fans lying around. They even have thermal paste. They even started with some of the NZXT cases. And the prices, sometimes they're not as updated in the actual store, but online if you check, a lot of the prices do seem to be competitive. Some things though are labeled really, really expensively in the store. I think sometimes they just don't change it, but they generally have always price matched when I ask them, either Newegg or Amazon or even Micro Center. But I've even found some really good deals and some stuff that's priced cheaper than other places, including Amazon. Look at this mouse, 15 bucks. Logitech G402 Hyperon Fury. Years ago, I actually used this mouse and it's fantastic. For $15, it's pretty incredible. Like, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. They have a bunch. So this is probably one of the best budget mice you can get. I mean, $15 for a high quality mouse, that's crazy. So it's really depending on the part that you want. Just research it, check online, just have them price match it. I think they do that most of the time. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you like my content. Smash that like button. Leave a comment below. Do you ever buy PC parts at Best Buy? And I'll see you guys on the next video.